Deep space was silent, but not empty. Far beyond the safe borders of the Galactic Council, near a region called the Void Sector, an old distress signal drifted through darkness. It was weak. Broken. Almost gone. Most advanced civilizations had detected it years ago. They studied it. They debated it. Then they ignored it. Because ships that entered the Void Sector never returned. The signal repeated only a few words. Help us, they are coming. No coordinates. No clear identity. Just fear. The Council believed it was a trap. Some thought pirates created it. Others believed it was a dying war species asking for aid too late. But every fleet that tried to investigate disappeared without a trace. No debris. No battle signs. Just silence. So the Council marked the region forbidden. And the signal kept repeating. Years later, in Earth's outer defense network near Jupiter, a young communications officer named Elias Rowan noticed something strange. Humanity had only joined the interstellar community 20 years ago. They were still considered new, emotional, and unpredictable. Elias was reviewing old background frequencies when he found a signal hidden beneath cosmic radiation. It was faint, but steady. He almost ignored it. But something about it felt wrong. The pattern was not random. It had rhythm. Like breathing. Like a heartbeat struggling to survive. He isolated the transmission and cleaned the static. The same words came through again. Help us, they are coming. Elias leaned back in his chair. The Void Sector tag flashed red in the system database. Classified. Dangerous. Do not enter. He forwarded the data to Earth Command. Within hours, human analysts were studying what the rest of the galaxy had abandoned. They did not focus only on the warning. They studied the pattern. The timing. The pauses between words. And they noticed something important. Every alien fleet that had vanished in the Void Sector had entered with weapons powered. Shields active. Engines running at full combat mode. Every single one. Humans asked a simple question no one else had asked. What if the signal was not a trap? What if something inside reacted to aggression? The Galactic Council was informed that Earth had detected the signal again. Council leaders immediately sent a warning. Do not engage. Do not enter. We have lost 12 fleets already. Earth listened. And then Earth made a decision. Without asking permission. They would answer the signal. But not with a fleet. Not with warships. They chose a single mid-sized exploration vessel, the HSS Resolve. It was not heavily armed. It was not built for battle. It carried scientists, engineers, and a small defense crew. Its captain, Mara Iqbal, understood the risk clearly. If we power weapons, we look like every other fleet, she told her crew. We go in quiet. No active shields. No charged cannons. No aggressive scans. Only one outgoing message transmitted ahead of them. We received your call. We are coming peacefully. Across the galaxy, alien observers watched in disbelief as the small human ship approached the dark edge of the Void Sector. They are reckless, one admiral said. They will vanish like the rest, another replied. The HSS Resolve crossed the boundary. For a moment, nothing happened. Then something changed. The distress signal that had repeated for years, stopped. Not faded. Not weakened. Stopped instantly. Inside the human ship, warning systems flickered. Sensors detected massive gravitational shifts far deeper within the sector. Something had noticed them. But no attack came. Captain Mara stood silently on the bridge as her crew waited for destruction. Instead, long-range scanners detected shapes in the distance. Huge shapes. Not ships. Something else. And as the HSS Resolve moved slowly forward without weapons, without shields, without fear projected into space, the darkness moved back. Watching. The HSS Resolve moved deeper into the void sector at minimum engine power. No one spoke loudly on the bridge. Even normal sounds felt dangerous here. The crew worked in silence, eyes locked on their screens. Long-range scanners began to clear the darkness ahead. And what they revealed made the entire bridge freeze. Ships. Hundreds of them. Then thousands. Massive warships drifted in space like broken statues. Some were split clean in half. Others were crushed inward as if a giant hand had squeezed them. There were no burn marks. No blast holes. No debris fields from explosions. Just destruction. Captain Mara ordered passive scans only. No active pulses. No weapon locks. The data confirmed something disturbing. Every destroyed vessel had entered in combat formation. Weapons were powered when they died. Shields were at maximum output. Engines were pushing forward at full speed. It looked less like a battle, and more like panic. They were running, one engineer whispered. And he was right. Flight records recovered from floating data fragments showed escape attempts. Sharp turns. Emergency jumps. Full retreat signals. But none of them had escaped. The Resolve drifted carefully between the wrecks. The sight was overwhelming. Alien designs from across the galaxy floated here, warships from species humans had only seen in council chambers. Some of these ships were considered unstoppable. Yet here they were. Broken. As the human ship continued forward, scanners detected a weak energy source inside a cluster of debris. A structure. Not a ship. An old orbital station was hidden between the wreckage. It was damaged, but not destroyed. Emergency power flickered weakly from within. The source of the original SOS. The signal had not come from a fleet. It came from survivors. Captain Mara hesitated only a moment before giving the order. Maintain low power. Slow approach. No sudden movements. As the Resolve moved toward the station, something else appeared on the far edge of their sensors. A massive distortion. At first it looked like space itself bending. Then the shape became clearer. It was enormous. Larger than any warship ever built. It did not move like a machine. There were no engine trails. No energy signatures like normal vessels. It shifted slowly. Living. The bridge crew felt the temperature drop, though nothing in the system changed. It's tracking us, the sensor officer said quietly. But it did not attack. It stayed at a distance. Watching. The human ship docked gently with the broken station. Boarding teams entered carefully. The hulls were dark and torn apart. Signs of struggle were everywhere, but not from weapons fire. Walls were crushed inward. Metal beams twisted like soft wire. In the center command chamber, they found a single survivor. An alien officer from a powerful war species. His armor was cracked. His breathing shallow. He looked up at the humans with shock in his eyes. "You are not armed?" he asked weakly. Captain Mara stepped forward. "We came to answer your call." The alien gave a broken laugh that turned into a cough. "We thought it was a predator," he whispered. "So we attacked." Back on the bridge, alarms flashed softly. The massive shape in deep space had moved closer. Not charging. Not striking. Just circling the human vessel and the station slowly. Studying them. The survivor looked terrified. "It is not a weapon," he said. "It is alive." At that moment, every light on the station flickered. And outside, the darkness shifted again. Closer. The massive shape outside the station did not rush forward. It did not fire weapons. It simply drifted closer, blocking out the stars behind it. From the bridge of the HSS Resolve, the crew watched in silence. Now that it was near, the scanners gave clearer images. It was not made of metal. It had no sharp edges. Its surface moved slowly, like waves across deep water. Lines of soft light traveled across its body in slow pulses. No engines. No heat vents. No weapon ports. It was alive. And it was larger than a moon. Captain Mara kept her voice steady. All systems remain passive. No power spikes. Inside the broken station, the alien survivor tried to stand but collapsed. The human medic caught him before he hit the floor. "You don't understand," the alien officer said between breaths. "We entered with battle formation. We charged weapons. It reacted instantly." "Reacted how?" the medic asked. The alien's eyes widened in fear. "Gravity bent around us. Our ships crushed themselves." Back on the bridge, the gravitational sensors confirmed it. The being outside was not firing beams or missiles. It was manipulating gravity itself. That was how the fleets died. Not destroyed. Pressed apart by space bending under impossible force. But the Resolve had entered quietly. No weapon charge. No shield flare. No aggressive signal. And so the creature had not attacked. Instead, it circled the station slowly. Watching. Studying. Elias, back on Earth, was analyzing the live data feed. His eyes locked onto one detail. The old SOS transmission matched the pulses moving across the creature's body. Same rhythm. Same spacing. It wasn't just a distress call, Elias whispered to himself. It was a warning. He sent an urgent message to Captain Mara. Match its pulse. Use low-frequency transmission. No energy spikes. On the bridge, engineers adjusted the communication array. They copied the rhythm of the creature's glowing patterns. Soft pulses. Slow. Even. The human ship began broadcasting the same pattern. For a long moment, nothing changed. Then the creature stopped moving. It hovered directly in front of the station. The lights across its surface shifted color. From pale white to deep blue. It responded. The pulses changed slightly. Different timing. Like a question. The crew felt the tension rise. One wrong move could end everything. Captain Mara spoke softly. Repeat pattern. Slight delay. The ship obeyed. The creature moved closer. Not fast. Not violent. Curious. The alien survivor stared at the display screen showing the being outside. His species had once conquered entire systems. They had never feared anything. Until this. "You are talking to it," he said in disbelief. "We are listening," Mara replied. Suddenly, every screen on the bridge flickered. Images flooded their systems. Not an attack. Memories. Images of ancient fleets entering the sector long ago. Not humans. Not modern species. Unknown ships mining asteroids. Drilling into rock. Firing weapons at something large hidden inside. Then the creature's response. Gravity waves crushing hulls. Ships breaking. More fleets arriving over centuries. Each one more aggressive than the last. Each one dying the same way. The being had learned a pattern. Energy surge meant threat. Weapons meant invasion. So it defended itself. The SOS station had tried to warn others. But warlike species heard only enemy. Humans had heard fear. The creature's massive form shifted again, drawing closer to the Resolve. But its gravity field remained calm. Captain Mara took a slow breath. "Transmit one more message," she said. On every frequency, in simple encoded pulses, the human ship sent a single statement. We are not here to harm you. The darkness remained silent. Then the creature slowly moved aside, clearing a path through the wreckage. Not as a predator, but as something finally understood. And for the first time in centuries, the void sector was no longer attacking. It was listening. The path through the wreckage opened slowly, as if space itself was breathing. The massive creature did not leave. It stayed near the HSS Resolve, moving in wide circles. Not trapping them. Not forcing them out. Guarding them. On the bridge, no one dared to celebrate. They were alive, yes. But they were still inside the territory of something powerful enough to crush fleets like paper. Captain Mara kept her eyes on the sensor display. Maintain pattern transmission. No changes. The ship continued to send soft rhythmic pulses, matching the creature's light waves. It was not language in words. It was emotion in timing. Slow pulses. Calm spacing. No spikes. Back on Earth, Elias studied the new data streaming in. He noticed something remarkable. The creature's pulse patterns changed when the humans transmitted images through the signal. Not clear pictures. Just simple digital shapes and light tones. When humans showed a star, the creature responded with a brighter pulse. When humans showed a ship, the creature's pulses dimmed slightly. When humans showed weapons, the creature's outer surface darkened completely. It remembers, Elias said quietly. It understands symbols. Captain Mara made a careful decision. Send biological data. Simple shapes. Non-mechanical. The communication team encoded a basic human heartbeat pattern into the signal. Slow. Steady. Alive. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the creature's entire body began to glow with a matching rhythm. Not perfectly, but close. The bridge went silent. It's copying us, the sensor officer whispered. Outside, space bent slightly as the creature drifted even closer to the ship. The gravitational pull increased, but it remained stable. Controlled. It was not attacking. It was adjusting. The alien survivor from the station was brought onto the Resolve under medical care. He stared at the massive being through the observation window. Our fleets attacked it, he said weakly. We fired first. Yes, Mara replied calmly. And it defended. The alien closed his eyes. We thought it was a weapon guarding resources. It is guarding its home, Mara corrected gently. Suddenly, a deep vibration passed through the ship. Not violent, but powerful. Every system flickered as a new wave of images filled their screens. This time, the images were clearer. Ancient stars forming. Asteroids drifting peacefully. The creature floating alone in the darkness long before advanced civilizations learned to travel. Then ships arriving. Mining. Drilling. Firing energy beams. Pain. The images became distorted as gravitational waves crushed the invaders. Then silence again. Loneliness. The humans watched in stunned silence. It isn't hunting, one crew member said quietly. It's defending territory. Captain Mara nodded. And it has been alone for a very long time. She gave a final order. Transmit withdrawal agreement. Mark borders. Promise non-aggression. The communication team encoded a map projection. They drew a clear boundary around the void sector. They marked it as protected territory. No entry without passive systems only. Then they added one more signal. An image of the Resolve leaving peacefully. For a long moment, nothing changed. Then the gravitational pressure around the ship slowly faded. The creature moved away from the station and positioned itself at the far edge of the sector, like a silent guardian. It did not follow them aggressively. It simply watched as the HSS Resolve slowly turned and began its return course. No attack came. No ships were crushed. The path remained open behind them. As they crossed the boundary out of the void sector, the distress signal did not resume. Because it was no longer needed. The message had finally been understood. And for the first time in centuries, something ancient and powerful had chosen not to fight. Because someone had chosen not to threaten. The wrong species had answered the SOS. And instead of war, there was peace. When the HSS Resolve crossed out of the void sector, the entire Galactic Council was watching. 12 fleets had vanished in that darkness. Warships larger and stronger than anything humanity possessed. Yet a single human exploration vessel returned untouched. The council chambers fell silent as Captain Mara's live transmission filled the central display. Behind her, through the viewport, the edge of the void sector shimmered faintly. And far in the distance, barely visible, a massive shadow drifted like a silent moon. It did not attack us, Mara said calmly. Because we did not attack it. Murmurs spread across the chamber. Several military leaders demanded explanations. Some accused humans of hiding advanced weapons. Others suggested secret alliances. Mara did not argue. She sent the data. Sensor logs. Gravity readings. Pulse communication patterns. Visual records of the creature's surface shifting in response to human signals. Then she sent the final message exchange, the boundary agreement encoded in light pulses. One council scientist leaned forward, studying the rhythm graphs carefully. It responded, emotionally, he whispered. Yes, Elias answered from Earth through the secure channel. It responded to intent. The alien survivor rescued from the station was brought before the council as well. Weak but alive, he spoke clearly. We entered in war formation. We fired first. It reacted as any living being would. We called it a monster. But we were the ones who invaded. The chamber grew quiet again. For centuries, advanced civilizations had believed that power meant survival. Larger fleets. Stronger shields. Faster weapons. No one had considered that maybe the void sector did not need conquering. It needed understanding. Captain Mara delivered Earth's proposal. The void sector will be marked as protected living territory. No armed ships may enter. All systems must remain passive. No mining. No military scans. Peaceful passage only. Some council members protested immediately. This sets a dangerous precedent. What if other unknown regions make similar claims? Mara did not raise her voice. Then we listened to them too. At that moment, sensors across multiple council observation stations detected movement near the edge of the void sector. Gas clouds shifted. Gravity rippled outward like a calm wave. The ancient being had moved closer to the boundary. Not attacking. Not threatening. Watching. The message was clear. It had allowed the human ship to leave safely. It was honoring the agreement. Now it waited to see if the galaxy would do the same. The council voted. Not because they were afraid. But because the evidence was undeniable. For the first time in galactic history, a non-mechanical, spaceborne life form was officially recognized as a sovereign entity. The void sector became protected space. Human satellites were placed at the outer boundary, broadcasting a constant rhythmic pulse, the same calm heartbeat pattern that had opened communication. Years passed. No fleets vanished again. Trade routes adjusted. Military commanders grumbled, but they obeyed the new law. And something unexpected happened. Other strange signals from distant regions began to appear across the galaxy. Weak pulses. Unknown patterns. The council no longer ignored them. They sent human diplomats first. Because humans had proven something powerful. Strength was not always loud. Courage was not always firing first. Sometimes the bravest action was to enter the dark without raising a weapon. Far beyond mapped space, the ancient being continued drifting through its territory peacefully. It had once crushed fleets out of fear. Now it simply watched the stars. And whenever human satellites pulsed their steady heartbeat rhythm, a soft blue glow answered from the darkness. The galaxy had feared the wrong species. They feared humans for being emotional, bold, and unpredictable. But those very traits had saved countless lives. Because when the wrong species answered the alien SOS, they did not bring war. They chose to listen.